weekly wrap-up. My name is Rainy. This is Rainy Day Reads, and it is Monday, a day later than I normally post these weekly wrap-ups. But today is the 10th of May, which, happy birthday, Tia from Tia and All the Books. Yay, happy birthday. And yesterday, on Sunday, was Mother's Day. So I spent all day with my mom yesterday, and so therefore I could not film my weekly wrap up, and I didn't have my act together in enough time to do it early. so, so you're getting this a day late, but I'm sure you can be okay with it, right? I don't think it will. I don't think it ruined your Sunday to not have a video from me. But anyway, today we are going to start with the crafty bits because I have way more crafting to talk to you about today than books. So, and then I also have some random chat that I'll put at the end. So, as always, I will leave timestamps for everything below. If you're just interested in the crafts, well, you can keep watching because that'll be the first thing. If you're just interested in the books, go to the timestamp. And then if you want to hear my chatty bits, I'll be at the end. So, it is the end of week 1 for Stitchmania / Stitchsania, which is what I am doing. Because although I have been procuring more patterns lately, because as I know with BookTube, such is the life of FlossTube, you start accumulating patterns the minute you think that you're like, oh, I'm not one of those people. I'm not going to have all the patterns. Apparently, I lied to myself, which I should have known. But anyway, I digress. I had a goal for Stitchsania, which is the brainchild of Stephanie from Lindy Stitches, who is a fantastic designer and person. She's lovely. And I have a few of her patterns. I have acquired a few in the recent past. And I have decided that my goal for Stitchsania is to focus on Alice and the Flamingos by Mrs. Pagodi Art. I've been working on this since October of 2020, and I am about, well, now I'm probably a little closer to halfway done, maybe like 40%. So my goal with this is to do 4 pages of the pattern, and I believe the pattern is about 28 pages. I already had maybe 5 or 6 of the pages done before May, but in order to get it done by October, so a full year, I have to do approximately 4 pages a month. So I finished my first page on Friday, and I have already moved on to the next page. So let me show you my progress. So here we go. This is Alice so far, and I have finished, if you can see where my parked threads are. Let me see if I can. I don't have a board like fancy floss tubers have. I should get one. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to do it. But, sorry, I've done like this portion of it. So this was like 1 page to here, and then I started the second page. If you can. So that's what I have been working on, and I did quite well on that in the first week of May. And I have not done my 200 stitches yet today, but I will because I am off work today and tomorrow and Wednesday. So I will have plenty of time to get in 200 stitches. But I don't know if this is a normal thing or if I'm just a slow stitcher. It takes me so long to do 200 stitches. It takes me like at least 2 hours to do 200 stitches. I don't know. I haven't actually timed myself. I should time myself. Because some of you might be like, oh my gosh, 2 hours to do 200 stitches. What are you doing? And maybe, I don't know, or maybe that's normal. Tell me. Does that sound like a normal time frame for 200 stitches? I don't know. But anyway, there she is. But back up to May 1st, which was on a Saturday, I was just like in the mood to start all the things. Reading wise, stitching wise, I wanted to just start all the things. So I thought, my original goal was to do 200 stitches a day during the week, and then I could start a new project on the weekends. So technically, I could start a new project on the weekend, the first weekend, correct? That's what I say. So I did my 200 stitches of Alice on Saturday, and then I got a very, very small start on a brand new project, and I have been stitching on it ever since, and it's just adorable. So anyway, let me show you the pattern picture first. This is, I'm sorry, it's just in black and white. This is the Thankful Samplery. I can never say that word. By my friend Tanya at the Sampler Girl. And I asked you in my first floss tube video if you thought that I should change the date to 2021. And some of you, I didn't get a whole lot of comments either way on this issue, but some people said to keep it 2020 as kind of a remembrance of that weird year. And some people thought, that 2021 was appropriate because that's when I was stitching it. And I think ultimately I am probably going to change it to 2021 because, let's be honest, I don't want to remember 2020. I don't know. I'm done. I'm over 2020. So, it wasn't like really that bad for me, to be quite honest with you. It really was not. But just the mental strain of 2020 in a lot of aspects was something I really don't want to dwell on. So I would rather change it to 2021, which is when I actually received the pattern, or when I actually stitched the pattern. So anyway, here is where I am as of this moment. I got a lot done. Ta-da! Isn't he cute? Look at that little turkey guy. I love the little turkey guy. So this is a whole new experience for me. Let me just tell you. This is on linen. It is, let me look at the tag, 30 count Witchold in the color lamb's wool. And Tanya gifted me this to try. And she had some, scraps. And so she sent them my way with few different counts. I chose the 30 count, and I originally thought I'm going to do 1/1 because I wanted it to be like a teeny tiny little like pillow ornament kind of a thing. But when I started it, I was like, oh, 1 square is really small. So I decided to do 2/2, and I'm really happy with it. It's going to be a little bigger than I had wanted originally, but that's okay. I'm fine with it. It's adorable, and I can still make like a decoration ornament kind of a thing out of it. So this is my first experience with linen, and I really like it. I think that I still will probably be primarily an Ada stitcher. I just kind of like the thicker fabric because I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I am not good with the back of my projects. My projects would horrify some of you. I know. And I'm trying to be better about this one though, because the linen is so much thinner that you can see any carried threads that I do. So I'm tying off in between every letter, and this guy wasn't so bad, obviously, because I could carry a little bit with him. But every letter gets tied off, unless it's like just one space, then I can kind of get away with it. But and ultimately, it's gonna have some kind of backing on it or whatever. So I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal, and it's just for me. But I'm trying to be a little bit better about the backs of my work. I'm not even going to attempt to show you what the back of Alice looks like. It's a nightmare. I probably just lost some new subscribers by confessing that. But yeah, I really like him. So I've been working on this off and on throughout the week. And then now we can fast forward to Saturday. I started a new start because I finished my goal of one full page by the end of the week, by Friday. So I got to start a brand new pattern, which is probably going to stress me out in the end, but so far I'm kind of enjoying going back and forth between projects during the week. But this is where Stephanie from Lindy Stitches comes in. I have the pattern for Lindy Stitches Walk Fast, and it is a Golden Girls reference by Rose Nyland, and it's one of her St. Olaf Scandinavian sayings, and I just love this sampler. So I'm one of these people that really admires all of the old-fashioned samplers that people stitch. They're beautiful, but they wouldn't fit in my house. My house is not decorated in an old-fashioned way. Even though I love that look, it's just not something that would work in my house. So I was like, I really want to do a sampler. And I found this, and this is technically, it's a sampler because it has a bunch of little random motifs and a saying, and just it all kind of ties together, but it's all like just random little patterns, like these tombstones down here, this fish guy on the leash, and then these little cranes, I guess they are. And yeah, I just love that so much. So I'm excited to have a sampler that actually fits in with my more modern aesthetic of my house. So I just started this on Saturday, and my friends Sarah from the Bookish Knitter and another Sarah from Sarah's Stitches on YouTube, and I will have their channels linked down below, both also have this pattern. So we decided to start stitching it together. And I think have I seen Sarah start? I don't think I did see Sarah start. I started watching her video yesterday, and then I fell asleep because it was late. And even though I didn't sleep for very long, I briefly fell asleep, and yeah, whatever. So I'll have to go back and rewatch her video and see her start. But I know that Sarah from the Bookish Knitter texted me her progress, and she's a little farther than me. But I got some of the border done, and this is different for me. I normally go from a middle piece, or from the middle of the pattern. But I decided to start on the edge today, or this time. So hopefully this works. I don't know. I'm not like a measury type of a person, so hopefully this works. But I really like how it's looking. And this is Ada, which is from Picture This Plus, and it is a 18 count Ada in the color Vellum from Picture This Plus. And I really like it. This is why when I started with this, at first I was like, well, I do kind of like how linen feels as opposed to just the white Ada you can get at Michael's. But whenever I got this from in the mail from 123 Stitch and opened it up. I was like, it's so drapey. It's so nice. And so now I'm like, I love Ada. So yeah, I'm very excited about this. So today, if I get my 200 stitches done in Alice, I am going to try to start filling in some of the words on this, because if I just stitch the border for the entire month, I'll be bored. I need other things. So I'm going to, at least I have a good starting off point now, so I can kind of like work diagonally maybe. So yeah, I'm excited about it. So those are the only 3 patterns I've been working on so far this month, which that's a lot for me, to be honest with you. I'm kind of a monogamous stitcher most of the time, but like I said, I kind of am enjoying it. But I have one, no, yeah, one thing of haul to show you. So Sarah from the Bookish Knitter, she gifted me a gift card for Lindy Stitches for my birthday, which was super nice. I'm so thankful. Thank you, Sarah. And she's like, I was just gonna buy you a pattern, and then but then she says, but there's so many good ones, and I don't know what you'd like. So I found that they had gift cards, so I'm sending you a gift card. So, and I'm super thankful that she did that, because I have been binge watching Stephanie's videos from Lindy Stitches, and when I saw a video on her putting out this pattern, I actually like kind of teared up. I was having a moment, because she was talking about how all of these, she puts out all these like love patterns that deal with like marriage, love of, not necessarily love as for a spouse, but just kind of more like love poetry, that kind of thing. And somebody had made a comment on one of her videos that she wished some of the patterns were more single friendly. And she came up with a pattern that is definitely singles friendly. It doesn't have to be, just for singles or anything, but I really resonate with this sentiment, and I think that's why it made me cry a little bit. So anyway, here it is. So this is the one that I ordered, and it is called Beautiful Things by Lindy Stitches, and it says, "Oh my darling, it's true. Beautiful things have dents and scratches too." And it has this adorable little bird, and like there's cracks in the pots, and the fence is all disheveled and stuff, but yet collectively all the little parts to this make this really pretty. So I really was excited to get this pattern. So thank you, Sarah. Okay, so that is all of the cross stitching, but I have one thing to show you on the knitting front. And I didn't actually think I would work on this at all in May, because I just figured I'd focus on stitching. But when you've stitched for so long, your hands start to hurt, and you need a different activity while you're listening to audiobooks and watching YouTube. So I picked up my White Horse Sweater by Caitlin Hunter, and this is, whoop, oh geez, I have the ball of yarn on the floor. This is where it's at so far. I got to put it probably on a slightly smaller needle, because, yeah, that's our cable, because this is doing all kinds of funky things. But I really like it so far. I think it looks really nice. Now, the one thing I did, so I separated the sleeves, which is why I now feel like I need a smaller needle, because, these are obviously not being worked right now. So I will probably put this on a smaller cable. But the only thing is, like, until I stretch it, it looks like too small for me. So I'm hoping that it'll block bigger after it's like off the needles and stuff, or else it might end up being a present for my mom or somebody. So it's a cotton acrylic blend, so I don't know how much it's gonna block out. I don't know. If you're a knitter, let me know if you think a cotton acrylic blend will still relax and stretch out whenever I block it. Hopefully it does. And I kind of feel like maybe it's just the lace pattern too that's kind of, sucking it in a little bit. And that maybe once I put it on my body, it'll work a little bit better. I could probably try it on right now, but I want to get a little bit farther in the body. So the body here is worked in reverse stockinette. So you flip this around to the reverse side and just knit, 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 and it'll turn into a lovely reverse stockinette pattern on this side. So I'm really pleased with this so far. I think it'll look really pretty on whoever gets to wear it, because it might not be me. And I'm still a little bit worried about this neckline, so it might not be me just because that might be uncomfortable for me, but we shall see. Okay, so next, let's move on to what I've been reading this week. So, since we last spoke, I have finished 2 books. The first one being Beyond the Gathering Storm by Jeanette Oke. I was buddy reading this with Berna from Berna's Bookish Adventures, and we have been reading the Canadian West series, which this is the 5th book in the series, the second to the last, this whole year so far, and it's been a really great experience for both of us. It is a Christian historical fiction series that is set in Canada. This is a time jump. We now follow the adult adopted children of Wynne and Elizabeth that we've previously been following in the other 4 books. And Berna and I were both kind of nervous the entire book that one of the plot lines for Wynne and Elizabeth's daughter, Christine, was not going to go well. We'll just say that. I at least did not trust Jeanette Oke to not give us like a weird ending, like a weird miraculous ending. I thought it was going to turn into something I was not going to be on board with. But I'm happy to report that she didn't disappoint me, and we are still enjoying the series. But I will say that the storyline for Henry, the adult son, was just a lot more satisfying in my mind. But I did end up really pleased with Christine's story as well. I won't give any more than that, because that already might be more spoilery than I should have said. I don't know, but yeah, it was a very enjoyable read. I'm enjoying reading this with Berna to get a different perspective, because as a Christian in America, I read a lot of I have read a lot of Christian fiction that can be quite corny, can be quite preachy, and what I think maybe is like, this is normal. I don't really see what everybody's problem with this is. It's nice to kind of get the perspective from somebody that is not in that in that worldview, and so Berna has given me a lot of good insight into just how this book feels to somebody that's not in that worldview. So, which is good. So far she has given it a glowing recommendation. So, if you're looking for Christian fiction that doesn't feel forced, this is the series for you. And then the second book that I finally finished in the beginning of May, I finished it for Krista from Books and Jams, her Patreon, is The Book of Last Names by Kristen Harmel. Harmel, yes. I always have to look at that. This is definitely a World War II historical fiction, and it follows a family in France who is also Jewish, but it is at the very beginning of the war, where, well, maybe not the very beginning, but when the Germans finally get into France and they start rounding up the Jews, they are this family. It's a only daughter, her mother and father. Her father gets taken, but the girl, which her name is escaping me right now, I don't know why. Eva, that's right, or Ava. I don't know. I think they pronounce it Ava. Ava and her mother have to then flee, um, flee France, and the mother is, just in denial, and she's going through the stages of grief that, they're leaving her father or her husband behind, and how dare they, and blah, blah, blah. And but through their travels trying to get away, Ava becomes a forger for the resistance that is trying to basically get children safe passage to Switzerland. And it was really fascinating. It was heartbreaking, very heartbreaking. For a couple of days after I finished this, I just had this heavy weight on my chest, and just couldn't not think about it, which that does not happen to me with most books. I don't usually feel that way, but I also don't read a whole lot of World War II historical fiction because it's heavy. And this definitely was. This was heavy. There was not a lot of lightness in it. So be warned if that is a thing for you. But I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4.5 stars at our meeting. I think I just basically, I dropped it down a half a point because there were some phrasing choices in this that just irk me when authors use those terms, or those phrases, and just the heaviness of the book. That's not something I normally read or gravitate towards. So it was still good, but it just didn't make me feel good. So so yeah. But those were the only two books that I have finished so far this month. But I'm not going to talk about them here, but you can see them over here. I am still working my way through Wives and Daughters by Elizabeth Gaskell, Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis, which, by the way, there were some women who had a live stream discussion on Krista's channel yesterday, and I was not able to participate because of aforementioned spending the day with my mom. But they just had a really fascinating conversation. I watched it back later, and I was like, my gosh, those ladies are so smart. C.S. Lewis is so smart. These ladies are so smart. I need to start taking better notes because I'm supposed to be on a live stream here shortly, and I don't want to look like an idiot. So, that being said, I have since ordered my own copy of Mere Christianity so that I can start highlighting and taking notes and what have you. So I don't have it with me yet, so I still have the library copy, but I don't think this is going to be the last time I'm going to read Mere Christianity, so I felt like that was an okay purchase to make. And I'm also still plugging away at Heaven to Betsy. I don't know why this is taking me so long. It is a reread for me, but it's not hard to read at all, and it's cozy. Every time I sit down to read it, something happens, and I can't continue reading. So that's going to be a plan for today, I think, to try to read a better amount than I have so far. And then during Krista's live sprints, I think it was last Saturday. No, this past Saturday. I started A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith, but I did not get very far. So I would like to at least get chapter 1 done today. It's a fairly long book, and I don't have an audiobook for it. So I'm going to just try to plug through it for the last few days of my vacation that I have that I'm in at the moment. So we shall see how that works. But so far it seems like it will be an interesting read. We'll see. um, but yeah, that is all of the book talk. So now I just have some like random chatty bits to talk to you about. So let's go to that. So it is now Monday, the 10th of May, and I have been off work since May the 5th, last Wednesday. And I am off and through May the 12th, this Wednesday. So I have 3 more days of vacation. I don't know where the rest of the time went. I don't know. It's it's been delightful to not have to go to work. Let me tell you, because the day before I was the last one out of the office because there were so many weird things that came up at the last minute. And basically, I was the one who had to take care of those things. So, needless to say, my working environment made it very easy for me to take vacation after Tuesday. uh, but not that I wouldn't have been happy to take a vacation anyway, but you know what I mean. So Wednesday was my birthday. I turned 38. I don't mind saying it. I mind being it, but I don't mind saying it. And it was a very nice day. It was rainy and cold. So, I mean, it wasn't nice outside, but um, my parents took me out to breakfast, and then we actually went bowling, which I haven't been bowling in at least since before 2020. And I actually love bowling. I have my own ball and my own shoes. I'm one of those people. I mean, and I'm not saying that I'm good. I just like having my own stuff because even pre-pandemic stuff, I didn't like putting my fingers into rental bowling balls, and I didn't like putting my feet into rental bowling shoes. So, so I have my own things. So we finally found a place that we wanted to go, and we did that for a little while. That was fun. I did fairly well one game, not so well the other 2 games. We played 3, and and then we went out to like a lunch dinner at a new location for a brewery that I enjoy. They now have 2 locations, which is fun, and the new location is in a gorgeous building. It's really pretty. And so, the food wasn't different than I'm used to, but I like their food, so it was great. Got a beer, it was nice. And then we went out for cake later. So it was a nice fun day. Um, and then, yeah, Mother's Day was yesterday. That was a fun day. It was cold and raining again, because that's just the way PA is in April and May. But we did some fun stuff yesterday. Went to a fun breakfast place that is like, it's sort of fancy. To me, it feels fancy for a breakfast place. And it was just very lovely. And I've been there before, but my parents hadn't, so that was fun. But needless to say, for all of this, I have been eating horribly the last week. My friends took me out to to lunch for my birthday, which was very kind of them. Um, and I enjoyed myself immensely. But between my birthday, getting taken out for my birthday, Mother's Day, then my dad's birthday is this Wednesday. I am not eating very healthy. So, my friend Angie and I have started a Discord accountability group that we just decided to do yesterday for healthy eating and exercising and motivation, stuff like that. So since I know my eating habits are probably not going to change this month at all, um, let's just be real, it's not going to happen. I am trying to make myself exercise for at least a half an hour, like actual exercise, and still try to get 10,000 steps per day because I haven't done very well with that before now. So, yeah, so far, so good with it. Today, I woke up and immediately did a workout video on a YouTube channel that I follow. It's like cardio based. So that was about a half an hour. So that even kind of got some of my steps in for that because it was a lot of like walking in place, that kind of thing. So, and I'm trying to drink a bunch of water. So this is only my first glug. So we'll see. But my goal is like 64 ounces a day. That's not that big of a goal, but for me, sometimes it's hard because I like coffee. So I don't always switch to water when I should. So yeah, that's really all I have. Oh, the other thing, I wanted to get your opinion on something. I got some very nice and generous gifts from friends, bookish friends, and I I wondered if I should like do like a birthday haul. It's not like a ton of things, but part of me feels like kind of weird about that. I mean, I'm sure I will still tell you when I get things from friends. Like I told you about the pattern, the gift card for a pattern that I got from a friend. So I'm not really sure that I need to do like a dedicated haul. But if that's something that you'd like to see, I could make it happen. But I also don't want anybody to like feel weird either. You know, oh, they should have sent me a gift, uh or oh, she's so snobby, she got all these gifts and she's telling us how like fantastic she is, or like I mean, that's just how it feels to me. It's like more like, look how fantastic my friends are, they got me this stuff. But it also feels like bragging. So I don't know what to do about it, but if you would like to see what I got for my birthday, I will put it in next week, and we'll do a little birthday haul section. But yeah, just let me know. So that's it, my friends. I thought this was going to be a short video, but it probably is not. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next week. Bye.